I swear, until Arsenal sign this guy, there is no day that is going to pass without a story of him connecting or linking him to Arsenal will pass without talking about Modric joining Arsenal. And obviously today we are having a lot of stories concerning Modric. Obviously Arsenal set to win the Modric race in January. We are talking about Reiss Nelson's new contract, and then the other player to talk about is Bukayo Saka. And who is commenting about Bukayo Saka again? He's Emmanuel Petit, that Arsenal legend that used to play for Arsenal for a very, very long time. World Cup updates today. So far 2 games have played. The third one is being played right now. The first one, Japan was beaten by Costa Rica by 1-0. Then the other game of football that was played, Morocco shockingly beat Belgium by 2-0. And obviously right now, Canada and Croatia, it's a 2-1 result in favor of a team which goes by names of Croatia. Croatia need this win because they drew their first game with Morocco, and obviously they don't want to see themselves thrown out of the group and not joining the round of 16. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? Smash the like button, comment and share as we speak. We are left with close to, is it 50 subscribers to hit 8,000 subscribers. And guys, please and please and please and please, let's subscribe to this channel to see to it that we hit that milestone that most of you want us to be, because I would like to see us being one of the biggest channels in the world. And obviously, who is going to take us there? Obviously, it's you, the viewers of Rokani Media Football. So I want to stay close to 200 likes on this video, because the more you like it, the more it's going to move and go in geographical areas where we've never been viewed. And let's grow this channel. And I know where you are, you guys know the truth, that every time we get viewed and we get lots of numbers, you are also happy about this. Not so? I think you guys are really good. Now let's get into the Modric story as the day comes to almost half of its 24 hours. Now, today, we've been told by the Mirror Football that Arsenal are set to win race for the top target, Modric. It's now understood Shakhtar are willing to accept around 40 million euros plus potential add-ons for the winger. Another factor in Arsenal's favor is Mudryk's desire to link up with Ukraine teammate Zinchenko. I told you a lot about Zinchenko and how he went ahead to recommend this lad to go on and really join a side which goes by names of Arsenal. He was recommended to come and join the Arsenal team by Zinchenko. And Zinchenko went ahead to talk to Mikel Arteta and the board of Arsenal that please sign that lad because he's one of a kind in his generation. And trust me, around Europe, you can talk about Marcus Thuram. I saw him play for France yesterday, but he's not exciting. He's 25 years of age. He has a decent height. He's really a very good player, but compared to Mudryk, is just nothing. The only player that I've seen that can get this deal out of its way and maybe Arsenal switch a little bit to another player is João Felix. Because if you've put João Felix and Modric onto the same weighing scale, I go with João Felix. João Felix is 22 years of age. Modric is 21. And who is a more proven player? It's obviously João Felix. And João Felix plays in all the three forward positions. He can play as a left forward, he can play as a right forward, and he can lead the line. You get? But according to the amount of money in that deal that it's being talked about, that Atletico Madrid could come in and ask for Arsenal or any team that really wants João Felix, because João Felix made it clear that he doesn't want to be at Atletico Madrid anymore. He likes the club, but he hates the manager who goes by names of Diego Simeone for being pragmatic, a style of football that does not really bring out what João Felix is all about. And you see him at Portugal. He's a different kind of player, very exciting because the people around him are really good at playing that tiki-taka football and obviously releasing him to go on and score goals. And you saw him in the first game they played against Ghana, scoring that second goal that really gave Portugal a lead, obviously. So, but for Bukayo Modric, it's already a deal that Arsenal have put in a lot of effort to go on and see it happen. In the summer, they wanted the player, they wanted him badly, they wanted to sign him. Guess what happened? They are requesting for 50 million euros or 40 million pounds. That's it. Now, the tide has changed. That club wants to sell, Arsenal are in here. They want to put in 40 million euros. Sorry, 40 million pounds and add-ons. And I think we are going to know what kind of add-ons are Arsenal going to go on and include into that Modric clause to see to it that he crosses from Shakhtar to a team which goes by names of Arsenal. And if I told you a Shakhtar Donetsk, you would love to see to it that you sell a player where he wants to go, such that he goes ahead and thrives. The more he thrives, the more you're going to attract very many other young players from the world. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. When he left Sporting Lisbon and joined Manchester United, and he went ahead to be one of the best players in the world, obviously, very many players, young players, have gotten attracted to joining Sporting Lisbon, and Sporting Lisbon is selling them and they're making lots of money. That's where the Bruno Fernandes are really coming in from. Matthias Nunes, you know him very well. Very many good players have come in from Sporting Lisbon. Another example is Ajax. Ajax brought the likes of Frankie de Jong, Danny van de Beek, Ziyech, Matthias de Ligt, and very many other players, good players. The Antonis of this world, the Lisandro Martinez of this world, the Gravenberches. So, even way back in the past, the Kluiverts, the Edgar Davids, and very many other good players. I think even Luis Suarez, he came in from PSV. Not so, he came in from PSV or Ajax, one of those two teams. I think he came in from I think he came in from Ajax. That is Luis Suarez. So when you're having a track record of players that leave your club and go on and become one of the best in the world, there is the way it benefits your club and it attracts young talent that is really pure to come to your side. I think Shakhtar Donetsk, for the very first time, they are really getting one of the players that is really going to be world class. Willian, by the time he left Shakhtar to come and join Chelsea, I don't believe he had a very high ceiling. The same applies to Freddy. They're having very many Brazilian talents that have been coming from that side, and those are the kind of players they've been selling to other clubs. Brazilian best player. For this time, they are having a Ukraine best player, Zinchi, known as Modric, who wants to join Arsenal. Mikel Arteta has a very huge plan for this lad, and obviously this lad did himself a service when he went to the Champions League. He scored close to 4 goals and put up some 2 or 3 assists. That is Mikhailo Modric. And Mikel Arteta got to know that this player is ripe and there is no way I can go in and bring another player. And I believe there has always been questions of where I can go on and play on the right, because Arsenal really look vulnerable on the right, attacking side of the midfield when Bukayo Saka is away. But at the age of 21, I believe Mikhailo Modric can be shifted and turned into a right winger, because if you are going to be one of the best in the world, you need to be playing all those front 3 positions better. You need to be able to do the line, you need to be able to play off the left attacking side of the midfield, and you need to be better playing off the right attacking side of the midfield. Look at Kylian Mbappe. Put him on the right, he'll play well. Through the middle, he'll play very well. On the left, he'll play very well. And yesterday, he orchestrated it in the match of Denmark. He scored the first goal for France while playing on the left attacking side of the midfield. When Giroud was taken off and he turned into a central striker, he went ahead to score that goal that really gave France a lead. So if I told you you're going to be a modern forward, you need to be playing those 3 positions very well. You see Gabriel Jesus, he can play off the right very well, he can play centrally very well, he can play off the left, because by the time you age, you aren't going to be playing wide. You get? You'll need to go on and start playing centrally, either as a central attack midfielder or a centre forward. That's it. And that's what has kept Ronaldo and Messi at the top for a very long time. If I told you so, Messi, he started off playing as a right attack midfielder, then he started to play centrally, and obviously he started leading the line. Now, Ronaldo was playing as a right attack midfielder, left attack midfielder, and obviously in the past 10 years, Ronaldo has been leading the line for whichever team he has been playing for. So that really helps you to change your game and mature your game a lot. So Mikhailo Modric to Arsenal. Zinchenko is really one of the points he wants to go on and join Arsenal, because Zinchenko is telling the player, you have to come to Arsenal, and obviously the player is telling Shakhtar Donetsk, I want to join Arsenal. He has gone twice publicly in the media to confirm his love for Arsenal. One, he told the journalist in the post match in the post-match interview after beating RB Leipzig by 4-1. He scored 1 and created 2 goals in that game. Then he went ahead to hold an interview with Zinchenko's wife, who is a journalist who runs a Twitter account and a website for English-speaking people around the world and interviewing Ukraine players. When he asked him about Real Madrid and Arsenal, he said, "I pick Arsenal every day," meaning that this lad wants to go on and play for Arsenal. And Arsenal have done themselves a very good job of convincing young players like Modric to go in and join them because of the age bracket of players that are at Arsenal. And I won't repeat that because it has become a song on this channel, because I always talk about that project of Arsenal, that the main gist of that project of Arsenal is the age bracket of the players. They are really young, the oldest being Granit Xhaka, who is just 30 years of age, meaning that Thomas Partey is 29. Those are the 2 oldest into that squad. The rest are below 26 years of age, especially the starting 11. Not so. So afterwards, the Mirror has gone ahead to let us know that insiders say the Gunners have the frame of a deal in place for Modric, £40 million plus potential add-ons after Shakhtar Donetsk significantly lowered their original demands, which are said to be close to £90 million. Now, £90 million, I believe they can go on and sign that player. Guys, it's not the first time Arsenal is going to do such a deal. Arsenal, for the very first time, broke the records under Unai Emery and signed a player at £73 million. And guess who the player was? The player was Nicola Pepe. But Arsenal never got for £73 million and paid them at once. I believe they paid like 30 or 40 million pounds up front. Then the rest of the money was supposed to come in as add-ons, and those add-ons have different clauses put into the contract. If at all he fulfilled them, then Lille will get paid. The same applies to Modric. If Arsenal puts in £40 million up front and they tell them that if at all he goes ahead to play 50% of the games of the season, we are getting you £10 million. If he scores 10 goals a season, we are getting you £10 million. If he goes ahead and if Arsenal goes and qualifies for the Champions League, we are giving you £5 million, because that money can get finished very soon, because Mudryk is Italian and I believe they have a lot of belief in him, and this guy will come on and move you left, right and center, and that is Bukayo Modric for me, the lad that I love for the entire life, because I wish he was coming to Manchester United, but obviously Arsenal are really scouting him and Erik ten Hag has no interest in that player. So that guy is really talented. He's good, and obviously I believe he's going to come out and really make it happen at a club which goes by the names of Arsenal and be one of the world best in there for you. Now, Charles Schwartz has gone ahead to talk about the contract of a man who goes by the names of Reiss Nelson, because Reiss Nelson looks like his contract is running down. I think he's left with 1 year on his contract, and Charles Schwartz, a correspondent of Goal, the Arsenal correspondent for the Goal and formerly working for the Football London, he has come out and really told us that on Reiss Nelson and his contract comments, he's got the quality, he can beat a man, he can score goals. It's just about whether he can kind of do that on a consistent basis and whether that's enough for Arsenal to give him a contract. That is Charles Schwartz for you. Then he continued to let us know that if he can continue getting his head down, if we can continue training the way he does and continue performing, when he does get an opportunity on the pitch, then maybe he does have a long-term future here at Arsenal. For Reiss Nelson, I believe he got himself into the right books of a team which goes by the names of Arsenal, especially for Mikel Arteta. When he was given a chance in that Premier League game against Nottingham Forest, coming in and scoring a brace, obviously, and scoring one, showed the manager that he's really a talent that Arsenal can reckon with for the rest of their life. Because he won't request for so much money. He won't pester you to start game in, game out. And obviously, Arsenal can just use him to go on and really get a longer contract. And if they give him like a 5-year contract, this will help him to go out and really work hard, or maybe get sold or loaned to see to it that he will perfect his game of football. Because Arsenal doesn't need to spend more money a lot on wingers when they bring in Bukayo Modric. That's it. I think for the next 2-3 years, Arsenal will be having good wingers. If at all you're having Bukayo Modric, you're having Bukayo Saka, you're having Reiss Nelson, you're having Marquinhos, you're having Martinelli, you're having Emily Smith-Rowe, all those are good players, and that means Arsenal will be good to go in that department. Meaning that Arsenal will be left with the central defense department because they need to add in one central defender. The other department Arsenal is really lacking a player in is the midfield. They need to go out and really bring in lots of players to come in and really get it done for the very first time. So I believe Arsenal are really going to be one of those sides that are really going to keep Reiss Nelson. And keeping Reiss Nelson is really something great for Arsenal, because when you're having Reiss Nelson, obviously he reflects how Arsenal is good at grooming players from the academy. He's joining the rest of people like Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Emily Smith-Rowe. Who else? He's thriving from the academy of Arsenal. I think those are the three right now that are really thriving from the academy of Arsenal in the current team that is really playing at a club which goes by names of Arsenal. So it's really great to see to it that Arsenal are really thinking about giving this guy a new contract, that is Reiss Nelson. And he did it. In just one game, he got himself back into the brain of Mikel Arteta. And I believe what really did him bad is the injury he got. And obviously him getting that injury, it really put him down onto the levels of not being able to be thrown out of the club of Arsenal. Now, right now, as I speak, Croatia has scored the third goal and it's now 3-1, comfortably leading the game. And obviously they've pulled 3 from behind, because in the second minute, Alphonso Davies scored the quickest goal of the World Cup right now in 2 minutes, and he made it 3. Now, I think is it Pulisic gonna head to score the third one for Croatia, and Croatia are comfortably winning this game of football. And obviously, it's 3-1 in favor of Croatia. Thank you guys for watching. Smash the like button, comment, and share. And obviously, lastly, allow me to talk about a man in the names of Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka is playing at the World Cup. He had a very ugly game against USA, but remember, he scored a brace on the opening game when England was beating Iran by 6 goals to 2, and he scored a brace. So Emmanuel Petit on Bukayo Saka, he's saying, I'm very impressed with him as a person and a player. He's a humble guy, hard worker, respectful. He keeps focused on his ambitions. After everything, the criticism and the racism, he has been incredible on and off the field of play. Yeah. Talking of that situation that really happened to him after missing a penalty when they were in the finales of the Euros with with Italy. He went ahead to miss a penalty. He was abused, obviously, but obviously he held his head high, and obviously he's one of the best that we are seeing in the world right about now. And let no one lie to you, this guy is really good. Though my problem with Bukayo Saka is, I believe he is more of a player who goes out and does the needful, but his flair is lacking. But his stats are really great. He has good stats. And that's why Arsenal were in for Rafinha, because Rafinha has a very good flair, and obviously his skill set is more than that of Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka's strength is his heart, his big heart, and being brave. He's too brave. He goes into, or he commits himself into situations that you don't expect him to be committing himself at that young age. Secondly, he's not an injury-prone player. He has a big engine. And one character that Emmanuel Petit has talked about that has seen very many people progress and become successful in the world is being humble. You see, if you are humble, hardworking, and respectful, those 3 words are responsible for you being successful in the world. And if at all you have them, and you really apply them in your daily life, there is no way you aren't not going to be successful, trust me. So Bukayo Saka is really a great player. And when I really look at Bukayo Saka, he reminds me of very many players at Arsenal. Look at Cesc Fabregas coming in at the age of 15, close to 16 years of age at Arsenal. When Patrick Vieira has left the club, Arsene Wenger was asked, who do you think is going to replace Patrick Vieira? Do you know what he said? He went ahead to say that I'm going to have a 16-year-old player in the names of Fabregas to take over. You know, coming in for the big boots, if you knew what Patrick Vieira was, you could get shocked. But on the other hand, you would understand on how huge the talent of Fabregas was to convince Arsene Wenger not to go in the market to buy a player to replace Patrick Vieira. Patrick Vieira, who was not only a player at Arsenal, one of the best central defensive midfielders in the world, but also the captain of Arsenal. And guess what? Fabregas went ahead to go on and do exactly what Patrick Vieira was doing at Arsenal. He went ahead to become the Arsenal captain, and he went ahead to become one of the best central midfielders in the world. Am I lying? So I look at Bukayo Saka in such a sense. Players like which other player? I think the best that really replicates this out, or mirrors this out, is Cesc Fabregas. At that age, as Bukayo Saka, he came in at 16 years of age, 16, 17 years of age, when Unai Emery brought him on the field of play, and now he has turned into a player that most of us are really admiring. So guys, thank you very much for watching in. Tell me what you think about Arsenal set to win the Modric race. Obviously, new contract for Reiss Nelson. Yes or no? I want to know what you think about it. Then, lastly, tell me what you think about Emmanuel Petit's reaction, all reaction to Bukayo Saka's source of success. May the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later, my mates.